Hey, so you guys like my new reflection glasses, the way they reflect in the light, they're beautiful. And that's the same thing that we're going to talk about with the reflection token that's coming out soon. Let's get it. Okay, yeah, the reflection of the glasses was actually messing up with the way it was recording, so I can't really talk about that. Okay, so what exactly is a reflection token? Jack 𝘰𝘰𝘰, the creator of Zen, one of the best cryptocurrencies that's out right now, is talking about a new way to burn more Zen than that has been burned through the NFTs. And the best way to do this is to create a new token called the reflection token. And we're going to watch a video that he did with another YouTuber called Retro Crypto. I would like to have an interview with him also in the future. We'll see what happens. So let's get into it.
So a reflection token is a token that pays dividends based on the protocol activity. So, like, for example, well, you know how Hex works, right? So Hex has this kind of like a reflection, but not really. But the reflection there basically is when you unstake with a penalty. The penalty goes to the people who continue to stake. So that's called reflection. It's reflecting back some action towards reinforced behavior. And the reinforced behavior would be like, okay, don't unstake, continue to stake. And if you're continuing to stake, then you'll make more. Even more than the specified APY of 3.69 or whatever that APY is. So that's the reflection. And so I was actually thinking yesterday that Zen could be used with the reflection protocol, specifically something like this.
So yeah, that in that example, Jack talked about the Hex token, and with Hex, you stake your Hex for however long that you promise to stake it. Let's say that you promise to stake it for 5 years. You're going to receive a APR of 3.69% every single year, right? And it compounds, so it's actually higher than 3.69% at the end. And if you decide to break your promise and you decide to end your stake early, you do not get that 3.69 APR. In fact, you lose some of the Hex that you staked to begin with. Okay. So what reflection means is that it's saying that there is game theory that if you push your coin to the protocol, is going to reflect back to you the same amount of coins or a different amount of coins or however amount of coins back to you based on some rules that is in the game theory. Okay. For example, in the Hex, if you put in the protocol that you're going to stake it for 5 years, it's going to reflect back to you the same tokens based on the game theory of other people breaking their promises. Okay. So how is he going to do this with Zen?
So we know that Zen is inflationary and becomes disinflationary over time, and it takes about 8 years to mint most of it, and then the mint basically stops. So 8 years is a long time, and there's plenty of people that can get into it. But it still doesn't have the cap on the inflation because staking will always produce 2%. So when you stake Zen, you will be able to make 2% pretty much in perpetuity. But not every person will stake. So it's not going to be 2% against the supply. It's going to be 2% against the total amount staked. And right now we're seeing about 10% of people staking. So it's not actually a lot. It's not like 50%. But what I was thinking is that what if there was a reflection token that derives value from Zen? And specifically the way that it will work, it would have a hard cap of, let's say, 100 million or some number, maybe 200 million, maybe 250. It doesn't matter. The cap is hard. So there won't be any more tokens produced above the cap. Then it will have the issuance, and let's say that the issuance will be monthly. So every 30 days, every month, the protocol produces the emissions of that token. So specifically, like the first month could be 5 million, The next month could be 4.8 million, then the month after 4.5, and then 4, and then 3, and then it trickles down to 0. And that could be 5 years, for example. So in 5 years, that's it. The whole 100 million of that new token are gone, no longer available. So similar to Bitcoin. But so Zen could be used with the proof of burn to create the competition for this new token. So it's like a game. So if you have Zen, you can deposit Zen into contract, and the contract will then run a calculation on everyone else who deposited with you, and whoever deposits the most gets the bigger share.
Okay, yeah. So he's saying that even though Zen is going to continue to inflate and the inflation rate is going to decrease constantly over the next 8 years and is going to decrease all the way down to 2% 8 years from now. 8 years from now is still a very, very long time. So how can we then help increase the amount of Zen that is burned and therefore shooting up the price of Zen? Well, he's going to come out with a new token that allows you to burn the Zen, and the more Zen that you burn, right? When you remove Zen from the ecosystem, the value of each Zen that's still in the ecosystem is value increases. When you burn more Zen, you get more of this new reflection token. When you get more of this new reflection token, the protocol will give you this reflection token once every month, okay? So it's going to calculate all the people that burned their Zen in that month, and then it's going to give it back to them at the end of that month. Whoever burned the most Zen gets the most reflection token. Whoever burned the least Zen gets the least amount of reflection token, okay?
But then the reflection part happens from the fact that if you decide not to take the new token into your wallet, like if you decided to wait and you stake it, then you will be making more by staking it. In the APY that you'll be generating will be paid by all of those new users that are coming in to burn Zen. So they will be burning Zen, and the small percentage, like 5 or 10% of that burn, will go towards the APY for people who are staking. So that's the reflection part. So what happens here is that Zen gets to benefit from the fact that it's getting burned. And then the people are competing for the issuance that are ever declining every month for the new token. And people know that in 5 years, after 100 million tokens are issued, it will no longer be available. So it becomes kind of like a bond, if you will. So if Zen is cash, then the new token is a bond where you convert your cash into a bond that will pay reflection dividends or APY based on the activity within that protocol. And so Zen gets the benefit because it's burned, and the supply will be deflationary. So the value of Zen will rise. And the new token will be issued for the people who are playing the game within this DeFi protocol, creating and deriving this new bond-like instrument that is paying you dividends based on the total user activity.
Okay, so there you go. The reflection aspect of this new protocol is that let's not talk about the first month of this reflection activity. Let's talk about the second month and on. Okay, so in the second month, what you can do is that once you get this reflection token, you can then decide to stake this reflection token. And the reflection token that you stake will pay you even more APR. And this APR that you get is based on the amount of people that are continuing to burn new Zen in that second month. So let's say that you got 100 reflection tokens after the first month. Then other people decide to burn 1 million Zen, 2 million Zen, okay, whatever. 90% of that Zen that is burnt will be given back to those same people as reflection token, but 10% of that Zen that is burnt by those other people will be given to you because you are the one that decided to stake that new reflection token, okay? And it's going to do that on and on and on. Like he said, the Zen acts like cash, and the new reflection token acts like a bond. A bond is some money that you loan to the government, and the government will pay you back a small percentage based on you acting like a bank. Okay, and that's the same thing. You stake your reflection token, you give the protocol a loan. And then the protocol will pay you back an APR based on the activity of the ecosystem. So this is actually going to be really, really amazing. This is really good game theory. And I'm telling you this because I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. Let's get this bond. Let's get this money. Watch that video.